welcome to, I guess, what is an apt description for the way I spent much of my 20s, alone and on a couch, in today's solo sofa safari. Heading out this afternoon and probably tomorrow morning, just to bring you folks up to speed with what's been going on here at the heart of Tanda Tula Safari Camp. We actually had a very fortuitous weekend where we were able to share this experience with people in person rather than just virtually, with the opening of intra-provincial leisure travel within the country. There were some locals that made use of the ability to travel for pleasure and came to see what spoils we could share with them, and it was a great weekend. Really wonderful to be able to share it with people again. Some impalas here who were probably also delighted to show off. The animals did too, great lion and leopard viewing, a couple of wild dogs, lots of ellies and buffalo, so all in all a great weekend. But let's see if the next couple of drives can bring some of that same magic to your computer screen wherever you may be in the world. So come along for the ride on this latest edition of a solo sofa safari. Oh, there's a tracker seat getting in the way of my kudu. But yeah, if we ignore that seat and everything else that's in the way, we have a beautiful female kudu who's walking through in the late afternoon sunshine. About to say she was alone and how unusual that would be, but a little bit of patience has revealed the rest of the herd, including some calves that would have been born beginning of this year. And back in the almost pre-COVID reality of today. Blissfully unaware of what is going on in the outside world, and I'm sure they're probably quite enjoying a less busy reserve. Impalas, a warthog, and a few other little critters already, steenbok, slender mongoose, but I'm actually going to be ignoring a lot of them, including the red-crested korhaan here, in favour of a sighting that Scotch is sitting at the moment, a little further south in our concession. Animals that we had requests from Phil Smith at the very beginning of the Sofa Safari series to bring to the screens for you to enjoy, and they haven't made any appearances, but that might change if things stay the way they are. So I'm gonna be heading south, and I'll let you know when I'm there. I will try and include a few more elephants in this episode. It is a week that has both World Lion Day within it, days that are just there to try and bring about a more global awareness of the plight that these species face, with growing human populations, poaching, hunting, loss of habitat, habitat fragmentation, all sorts. So we cannot ignore our big ellies, but seeing as World Lion Day came first, we have to focus on those animals to begin with. So there we have it, the ever impressive Mayambula Pride, and some brief appearances from the berry males. 16 in total, 4 adult females, 10 youngsters of a year and a half, and then the 2 big pride males. Slowly starting to stir, so we'll see if they wake up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that doesn't need words. Being in the presence of a pride like that is something quite unbelievable, and to think this time a year ago they were seen on an almost daily basis within our concession, but with the arrival of the Nauru males, River Pride chasing them to their southern reaches of their territory, we just don't catch up with them nearly as frequently as we used to. It's gone from being a daily occurrence to maybe a monthly occurrence or bi-weekly occurrence, if we're lucky. But those moms have done an incredible job raising the youngsters to this age. As I said, they're all 18 to 20 months old now. 10 out of the 11 that were born have made it. The one they did lose is very early on in their life, and the 10 that have kind of become part of the pride have stayed with the pride. And can you imagine 16 lions like that, how much food they need to eat? So they're clearly very efficient hunters, and I'm sure in an evening like this, no moon, going to be perfect conditions for them to go hunting. We're not going to follow them, leave them sleeping, and hopefully this won't be the last time that I'm getting to see them over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully for your sake too, you get to see them a little bit more often than we have, which is not saying much because that was the first. But yeah, going to be making our way back. If there's anything else that catches my eye on the way home this evening, I shall let you know. Otherwise, we will be out again in the morning to continue this episode and do our little bit for World Elephant Day by showing some pachyderms. A hyena who would probably do well to avoid such a pride of lions. Fortunately, you're unlikely to just walk into them and have them ambush you, but you can be rest assured that should those lions have any kills, these hyenas will not be getting anything until there's nothing but scraps. Looking at the bellies of the lions, it does not appear as though they have eaten that recently, so I'm sure this evening they will be on it. But with those sub-adults now being almost adult size, and with the 2 males present, no matter how big your hyena clan is, you're not going to chase 16 lions off a carcass. So good luck, Mr. Hyena, but your efforts are probably going to be in vain unless you're really happy with bones, which I guess they are. That's why they're scavengers. And just like that, it is morning, and also a fair wad colder. Wow, my hands are burning. Face is about to. You can see a little bit of mist settling down in the low points. I was woken up shortly before 6, so about 40 minutes ago, with a female leopard calling close to my house, followed immediately by a male. She has since kept quiet, and he has carried on roaring a little south of us on the Sharubi. So we're going to begin our search there and then see if we can add some ellies to today's mix. But sun's about to come up, so yeah, let's carry on with this episode. So right in the direction I heard this leopard calling from, we've got his tracks heading to the south along a prominent game trail and shooting off down towards the river. So we're going to jump ahead and see what we find. On the search for spots, and unsurprisingly, the first spots we're coming across are those of a young male giraffe. He's not alone. He's got a friend browsing on the greenery to his left. But yeah, unsteady hands. The giraffes are increasing tremendously at the moment in this area, being drawn into these river lines with the greenery, as well as the flowering knobthorns that are soon to sprout. Hopefully. They missed last year, but hopefully this year they won't miss it. I have got the assistance of another guide and tracker in the area at the moment. They've got some local guests that they're taking out and are very keen to help find leopards. So Ephraim is on foot on these tracks. That's why we have trackers. Apparently at that junction where I showed you the male's tracks, her tracks, the leopardess, also crossed over there. I suspect it's probably Tumbela. She's been coming into this area for the last couple of weeks, far west of her normal range and territory, but I'm assuming she's coming into estrus, and for some reason the males that were so prevalent in her area the last couple of years are not around at the moment. So when a female's in estrus and she needs to mate, she will leave her territory to look for the dominant male. I'm going to suspect that is why she's walking around scent marking, calling. A male's picked up on that and is following. So just sitting, listening, hoping to hear that characteristic call of the leopards, or a call I'm not even going to try and impersonate, of mating leopards. But yeah, hopefully with the assistance of a skilled tracker we might be in with some luck. So a little bit of patience hasn't really paid off. I'm actually leaving that area now because Scotch has asked me just to go give him a hand to look for the River Pride. He's got some fresh tracks and just wants us to go track them on foot up in the northeastern corner. These guys are like clockwork. They just walk circles around our concession in a very similar and predictable manner. So I'm sure they're not far away, so we'll go try help him and then maybe come back to the area on the southern side of camp for the leopards. If they are found, or if not, we'll come and check again. Our present giraffes continue to present us with their elegance and grace. They are not alone. They actually found themselves, let me put it this way, I think these zebras, this large dazzle of zebras, has also found themselves some giraffe to hang out with. So we're almost joining Scotch now. We're going to go off on foot and track these, which is how we find the majority of our big cat sightings, is from the trackers following on foot. So good for you to get an experience, or virtual experience, of what that's like. Ideally, we spot the lions before they spot us, but they're lions. They're very well attuned to their environment. So if they do hear us, see us, there's likely to be a reaction. They're not very fond of people on foot. So they'll give us a warning growl, possibly a warning charge. We clearly listen to that, we back away, they settle down again, and then we can come into the vehicle. So let's see how this tracking exercise goes.
Hello. Taking a ride in Chad. He was running.
Yeah, Warren said they were having a fight. He could hear them fighting this side at about 4 o'clock this morning. So I don't know if they got a kill here.
They were chasing the wildebeest.
Okay.
It's a man running this way. And the lion seeing that running.
Bones. Scotch has amazing eyes. And, yeah, can't even see, but there are the lions. So let us go back to the car and we'll come in. Alright, back in the vehicle. Fortunately, an uneventful track there. Scotch's incredible vision spotted them a good 70 meters away. There was no growling, they didn't stand up, and they're just lying there. So we're making our way in now to see what they are up to. Now, there were reports that they could be heard fighting and squabbling over something this morning. So there may be a kill there, but let's go see. Okay, so we're in here, and you can see how easy it is to overlook these things when you're tracking. Within view now there are 6 lions, of which we can see the male who's nicely popped up, and whose ladies is grooming, but there's another 2 that side and 1 over there. River Pride. So yeah, continuing our celebration of World Lion Day, which was on the 10th of August. As I said, really just to try and create awareness for these animals and the dangers that are threatening them, like loss of habitat fragmentation, hunting, captive breeding programs that erode their genetic diversity, and it's just to try and make people aware for one day a year. Although here in the bush, and people like yourselves that follow these programs and YouTube channels, you obviously understand the perilous conditions that face so much of our wildlife, and you know, often a lot of attention is given to lions and elephants and rhinos, which need it, but there's so many other smaller, less well-known creatures that are facing the same pressures. But in a way, if we can protect these big iconic species like the lions, for them to function, for their populations to function and sustain themselves, they need everything else in that food chain below them to be working, which means the prey species have to be stable. And if for the prey species to be stable, it means that the food supplies, the grasses and vegetation, have to be stable. And if that's stable, it means that your soils and water supply has to be stable. So although we might focus on the iconic species, if we can keep them safe, it means that we're keeping all of the support structures underneath safe. And in doing that, we're able to conserve a lot more than just the one species of the lion or the elephant, whatever it may be. So the river pride have been a little absent over the last few days. They seem to be developing an unpleasant habit of venturing out of our concession more and more. We got so used to, from probably October, November last year until July this year, of having them around for almost on a daily basis. There'd be the odd day they'd pop out, but it was only a day and then they'd be back. But now they're starting to cycle through this area a lot more. I guess it's due to the fact that they have been spending a lot of time here over the last few months. Prey has become wise to their presence, but also with only a single cub that's now fully mobile with the pride, they're not as tied to the den sites along the Sharlumi as they were before. But it does mean that we're sometimes not seeing them on the daily basis that we used to before. But anyway, they're back today, so that's good. I think we're going to leave the River Pride and the Naru males, 2 of them anyway. They're not looking like they're very keen to get up to much today. It's going to be a warm one, so the male who is out in the open, I'm sure, is going to retire to the shade. But we'll leave them be. We had some lovely lions last night. Let's see if we can diversify this episode a little bit. So the fighting that was heard last night was no doubt a result of the males fighting over a female nistrus as opposed to them fighting over a kill. But what is he doing here? Approaching the lionesses, at least the one lioness, very cautiously. Like he's in the dog box. I guess you'd call it the cat box in his case. Scent marking. He's scraping sand right onto her, which is not going to help get you out of trouble, mate. Shady spot there. And the end. When I left the other guide and tracker looking for that leopard to go and help Scotch track the lions, I said to him, you do know that as soon as I leave the area you're going to find the leopard, and lo and behold, it has appeared. So we're going to make our way back to where we were and see if we can catch up with our gorgeous blue-eyed Tumbela. And here I thought I was being a clever little boy by conducting my solo sofa safari over 2 drives. Turns out I've seen way too much stuff and got way too much footage for only 1 episode. So I'm going to be breaking it into 2. Be sure to tune back next week to see what else happens on the rest of this drive. So thank you for watching this episode, and stay safe, take care, and we'll catch you very, very soon.